Hi guys, you know what day it is. It's Wednesday. Welcome back guys, and welcome back to another episode of Styles After Dark. I hope you guys have had a lovely week as always. If you're new here, welcome. And this is a podcast where I want people or anyone listening to feel seen and heard. This is a podcast where I share my experiences and I'm vulnerable. So today is going to be a amazing, powerful video, and it is a topic on women and women supporting women. I'm truly excited for this because I feel like my next couple of videos, I truly want to make it about the community of women, honestly. And this came about and inspired me again from my New York trip because I took it with two of my amazing girlfriends, and it was just such an eye opener. And seeing how much we loved each other, how much women friendships are beautiful and how much we show up for one another, and the power of relationships that women can have when two girls or a bunch of women just come together and love one another and show up for each other, support one another, and just have a genuine loving connection and wish nothing but the best for each other. And I think we all know, especially after the big and amazing Barbie movie, especially after the big Barbie movie that came out last year. I think that movie had a lot of women feeling emotional. It touched a lot of hearts, and it touched on a lot of things that some of us have felt as women. Before we hop into this video, I want to of course talk about the drink of the week. I have to say it the way I always say it. The drink of the week. Okay, so this drink of the week really caught my eye. It's called Recess. I love that it's like a pink can and it's kind of matte, and then it has like these cute little clouds on it. I'm a sucker for anything cute, so I feel like they got me in the aisle. I was like, what is that? So this is what they're about. We canned a feeling, a sparkling water to brighten your day with magnesium. Take a recess. Create a moment in time. Do with it what you wish. Calm, cool, collected. So I wonder if this makes me feel calm and collected. But I don't know if I want that. I don't like anything that calms me down. I'm an energy ball. So anything that calms me down, sketch. It's giving sketch. Let's try it. This flavor is strawberry rose. That was delicious. Was amazing. 10 out of 10. I enjoyed every second of that. So hopefully it doesn't make me calm. We have to always go from the beginning. It was really important for me to share with you guys why it really inspired me to do this video. And I think it's because I have really been working on, I would say, the past couple of years on trying to become a girl's girl and truly trying to become someone where I support other women. I want to talk highly of women, and I just want us to be a community versus jealousy, versus competition, versus not liking one another. And I feel like now I'm at a point in my life where I can honestly sit here in front of this camera and tell you guys who I might have been in the past and who some of us might be right now. And there's no shame in that. And I do think that there's a lot of us who unintentionally might be competing with other women or unintentionally might be shaming other women, and not on purpose, because I feel like in the past I definitely have, and I never really understood the concept of what it meant to not necessarily be a girl's girl. I think I've always been a girl's girl, definitely, but I feel like in my younger days, maybe I always felt there was a reason to be competitive, but again, that's naturally, we grow, we become adults, we want to be better. You know, maybe you're someone who is looking to change. Maybe you want to become a girl's girl. Maybe you feel like you have some anger in you, or you have some saltiness, or maybe you just find yourself being a little judgmental towards other women. Maybe someone has told you that you're not a girl's girl. I just remember always hearing like, oh, women should support one another. And obviously I knew what that meant, but like, I think I just knew in my heart I wasn't fully there yet, because I was doing things like maybe gossiping or things would come out of my mouth where it wasn't matching up to really just loving other women and trying to understand that we don't need to be in competition. One, I've done a lot of work to get here, but two, you attract what you are. So I feel like now that I've put up boundaries with myself, been on this road of just trying to love myself, become better, be a good person, support other women, because that was a goal of mine, I guess, because in the past I just felt like, again, maybe feeling like I was in competition. And now I feel like I've done a good job of making sure that also the women around me and the people around me are having the same morals and values when it comes to, I guess, being someone of their word. Like if I say I'm going to be a girl's girl, if I say I want to support other women, it doesn't make sense for me to have friends who aren't doing the same. I don't know about you guys, but you hear it all the time. There's just so much pressure on women to be perfect. And I think a lot of the time, too, as well, we're held to such a high standard of looks and body types and how we should dress, how we should carry ourselves. And no shame to men, but shame to men because y'all don't. I'm kidding. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm not a hate men kind of girl. Like, yes, some men are crappy. I think we all know that, but like, we don't hold men to that high of a standard. Men don't have to put on makeup. Men don't have to. If men sleep with X amount of girls, they're not considered a whore or a slut. If a woman sleeps with a man on the first date, that means automatically, like, we don't have as much respect for ourselves. Those are things that have affected, I feel like, the way women compete with each other, because when it comes to the standards that we society has made us live up to, it's created so much tension, not just between a man and a woman, but between women against women and women being judgmental towards each other. And I feel like it just starts from us being so young. And where I'm going with this is when I was younger, already I feel like I was born into judgment. And I'm not saying every Mexican household is like this, but women are held to certain degrees, certain standards. And so I think growing up in the household that I did, even if you wore like short shorts, like that was considered very flashy. Like, even if you're like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old who's very innocent and you're just wearing like these cute little Spanx because maybe you're in gymnastics. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, Nike Pros were super popular. And I remember in my household that just did not fly. You had to be clothed, a little more clothed. And so I think about situations like that where I probably even felt judged by my own family, by other women in my household because of something so small as that example. Being born into certain cultures, I feel like naturally they can be a little more judgmental. And I would say that just set me up to be a judgmental person as I got older. I'm going to be honest. I have not always been this version of myself. And I definitely do believe that when people bully other people, I truly believe it's because there's things going on at home. Maybe they're not getting enough attention. Maybe they're not getting enough love. Maybe they're going through really tough time at home. And I think when people are rude to other people, it's always a reflection, and it's always something deeper with that person. And you hear it so much, like, oh, it has nothing to do with you. I think as an adult now, and obviously just maturing and going through life, and I'm not in high school anymore, and you have experiences, I would say I was probably a mean girl. I would consider myself a mean girl in high school. I'm not saying to everyone, but maybe in certain situations, I definitely would not act like that now. I definitely would not have I was a little feisty. I was a little problematic, dramatica in high school. I was like, around, like always wanted a problem, always looking for an issue. I'm not giving excuses to anything, but I will say that was a hurt version of myself. And that was someone who wasn't confident in themselves, or honestly didn't really have a stable household, didn't have parents who were probably as present. Some people will probably never understand how that influences kids, teenagers to act out in school. So it's important to have grace. And I hope this reaches the right audience. And it's always important to look inwards. I remember people would be like, "Oh my god, you're drama, blah blah blah." And I would be like, "Am I?" I like to think people grow up after high school, so I understand like this isn't a crazy big deal. I think it's important to grow out of that and to self-reflect eventually and mature and understand that that behavior is not okay. I think transitioning, probably a little teenage girl who was always feeling like competition, that did transfer a little bit into adulthood, and not dramatically. There have been times that I have felt like I need to be in competition, and I think that's natural in a sense because, again, just like natural human being feelings, it is the way society has taught us to be, that women have to be in competition and women have to look a certain way. But I think this is gonna be cheesy. I think I took a turn when two things happened. Selena Gomez was like a big influence on me, y'all. And I know that's like so random, but I have to talk about it because if any of you listening know Selena Gomez, you know that she is a huge person and candidate for spreading kindness, spreading love, spreading positivity, and definitely women supporting other women. That's what kind of inspired me and someone I looked up to and wanted to be like. And she is a positive influence on today's world for young girls, for teenage girls, for women. And I remember falling in love with her and what she stood for and just being like, yes, I'm obsessed. Like, I would love to be as amazing as a woman as she is. So that's just like a little background on that. And then when I started my self love healing journey, I remember feeling not good enough. And when you work on yourself and when you start doing real research on what self love is and start putting in the work, start going to therapy, start unlearning bad habits, things will just start to click over time on why you acted certain ways, why you felt certain ways about things. Your relationships will change for the better. I want to be confident. I want to be a confident woman and I want to spread love and I want to love myself enough so that I don't have to put others down to make myself feel better. Not only can you treat other people bad or project your insecurities onto other people, I feel like when it comes to having women friendships and how you feel towards other women, whether that's a work environment, whether that's like just a random stranger on the street wearing whatever she wants, we start to put down other women and gossiping about other women to help us feel better about things we might be insecure about. And when you start working on yourself and loving yourself more, as I was doing over time, I started to see how other people talking about other women, it said more about them than it did about the people that were being talked about. And it just makes you realize like who isn't confident in themselves and who is. Because now where I'm at, I have no desire to have conversations that are talking down on another woman. Listen, I'm not the most confident person, okay? It might not even just be you not having enough self-love. It might just be the fact that it's habit at that point, it's nature to you, and maybe you're just around a bunch of women who do that. Or maybe you have a best friend who does that. So all you can do is continue that cycle and thinking it's okay. When I was going through this self-love healing journey, I just want to mention a big thing that I was insecure about and why I felt so bad about myself was because there was other women who made it very visible that they did not like me. They made it very visible that I wasn't enough or maybe they were in competition or they had to put my name down to make themselves feel better or they had to say something about me, gossip about me, things like that or honestly, even to my face, say mean things. So I was trying to wrap my head around why that was a thing because it sucks when someone doesn't like you for no reason. And I feel like I've had a lot of issues with that my whole life. And I don't know if it's because I'm like this loud energy. And again, that's a part of life. People are not going to like you. People are going to have opinions about you, and not everyone is supposed to like you. And that is completely okay. And you have to go on knowing that. But I will say, understand that those people are unhappy with themselves, and those people have things that you will never know that make them like bitter and unhappy, that they have to make you feel less than. Sometimes those people can be women, and that's what sucks, because I feel like as women we should be coming together and supporting one another, because this is a community, this is a bond, and there's no need to be in competition. And especially I feel like a lot of people have trouble with that at work. And I'm not talking about me specifically, but I just feel like I've heard things, people deal with that. People deal with cattiness. That brings me to my next point, is jealousy. If you find yourself being jealous, because I have too, I've never acted out on it, but I've caught myself being like, oh my gosh, like that girl, that woman is beautiful. That woman is on top of the world right now. She is slaying in her career. She is slaying with her body. She's slaying with her outfit. She's slaying with her look. She is eating. There is no need to feel bitter or feel like in competition when another amazing, talented, beautiful woman comes in the room. When a girl at work is also talented, when a girl at school is getting attention because she's beautiful, or maybe she's smart, or maybe she has like the best clothes in school, I don't freaking know. Jealousy can be turned to admiration. Am I saying that right? Admiration. Admiration. Okay, I don't know. But understand that jealousy doesn't have to be a negative thing, and it doesn't need to become this feeling in your body where we now have to compete. We now have to dislike someone. Sometimes when you're jealous of someone, you feel like they have something that you don't. And that is already showing that one, you're probably insecure about something, because they have that thing that you might not. You might feel like they might take something from you, whether that's a boy, a position with a sport, a club, a like work. But we have to switch that toxic and negative way when it comes to being jealous of another girl. There's room for both. And what you might be jealous about that girl or person, you can understand that maybe you don't have that thing. You can admire them for having that thing. And it's okay if another woman can do something or has something that maybe we don't have. We're all different and unique in our own ways, and we all have things about ourselves that shine out. If you don't feel like you have things that are amazing about you, that is a lack of self-love. And that's my point, is let's work on us. Let's work in here so that we don't have to feel intimidation when another girl comes by that has something we don't, because that's what it is. It's being intimidated. If I even catch myself being like, oh my gosh, that girl has this, I'm like, heck yeah. Like, I've had to train myself to understand that jealousy can be a good thing. Let me tell her how amazing it is, that how beautiful she is because she has like the prettiest hair ever. Let me tell her how much she's killing it in whatever she's doing. That's so freaking awesome. Like, we do not have to be against each other. It does not have to be a bad thing. We do not have to be bitter and salty that a girl has something we don't. I feel like when we start working on ourselves and we stop gossiping, not entertaining other people who are doing that or being around negative things, we're just going to be so much happier and secure with ourselves. So if you have friends or if you have coworkers that maybe aren't in their journey, where maybe they're still stuck in a mindset of talking badly of others, whether that be men or women, then just steer the conversation somewhere. You have to put up boundaries with people. You have to tell people that you don't want a part of that. And that was really hard, and that can take time, but you have to stand up for you and what you believe in. Make those boundaries. And if someone doesn't want to be your friend anymore because you don't want to gossip, because you don't want to add on to negativity, that's on them. And maybe it's good. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise that you shouldn't be friends with that person. I feel like for a long time, it was really hard for me to put up boundaries like that. In the end, I only had myself to blame. I was scared of what that other person might say, or I was scared if I would lose that person. But really, your real friends or the real people that are going to be in your life and going to want you to grow and respect you and respect your boundaries aren't going to make you feel bad for putting them up in the first place. Then you can actually attract the people that aren't doing that, and you're giving room for God to put the right people in your life. Now that I feel more confident in myself, now that I feel more full with myself, I feel like I've attracted women who don't talk badly about other women, who are girls, and who are just good friends too. On this trip that I mentioned earlier in New York, my friends and we were just having a blast, and we all were into fashion, and we were all into, taking photos of each other. And there was no tension. There was no like, oh, your outfit's cuter than mine. Oh, no backhanded compliments. Being able to ask my friends, like, hey, can you take a picture of me this? Hey, does my outfit look cute? And like getting nothing but love and hyped up, because that's how it should be. Us women should be caring for each other, loving one another. And none of that would have ever happened if I didn't look inward and realize that maybe I was being a judgmental person. Maybe I had judgmental, qualities. And naturally, as human beings, it is natural to judge. But I think to a certain extent, we have to hold ourselves accountable to what limit, like when is enough, and we need to want to be better and be supportive of one another. And if someone's got you messed up, or if someone did you wrong, that's a whole other story, sis. I'll be right behind you. What's up? Kidding. I also am a part of this like girls run club, and there's like hundreds of girls in it. One of my good friends, Haley, actually started it. And when I tell you guys, every single woman that I have come cross paths with or had a conversation with in that all girls running club here in Las Vegas. It's called Grace Run Club if you want to check them out. When it comes to us like running, and we're all training for like a half marathon or a full marathon, there's nothing but love and community and kindness towards one another. And being able to experience that now based off of like where I was years ago or even 2 years ago is such a beautiful thing. But I feel like some people aren't experiencing that and aren't experiencing the true love of womanhood, girlhood, community with women. We need to self reflect and change those habits and change that way of thinking, or maybe changing our friendships or environment around us that might be influencing us to be hurtful or be mean or being mean girls to one another. So, yeah, I'm happy that I did this episode. I'm happy that I finally got to talk on women relationships, women friendships, and women supporting one another. I hope one of you guys could resonate with this. I hope one of you guys could learn something from this, as always. And I'm always trying to be a better person. I'm not perfect. I will always preach that. But I think it's important to constantly be growing and evolving and trying to be better. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Please subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, and thank you for supporting. I appreciate you. And yeah, thank you guys. I love y'all, my little stylers. SofiaStyles, peace out, and remember to be kind. Mwah.